Hi, I'm Dan Schmitt, and it's Team Chicago Challenge. We're in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, Lake Winnebago, Otter Street Fishing Club. This is their big event. We are the main entertainment, motorcycle racing. We've been racing here. I've been racing here over 20 years. It's always a great racetrack. So we're going to look at the heat races and final. We're going to show different classes. There's quads, there's motorcycles. We're going to run a Canadian screw class. Joe's let me ride his 490 Yamaha in the senior class, and I'm really going to try to win that thing. So it's going to be a great show. So let's check out some of the racing action. Otter Street Fishing Club in Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
We have a tentative order of the day sheets. You probably got them. It's not. It will change. Right now, we did put the seniors in first. Seniors are going to go first, and there's a couple classes we do not have riders in, so that's all going to shift. So that tentative list is only a guideline. The reason why seniors are first is we have Dan Schmitt from Team Chicago here, and he's going to be filming, and he wants to ride too. So we're going to get him out so he can film the rest of the events. Team Chicago, you can look it up at YouTube. Under motorcycle races, and he's got quite a few clips on there. And the races from this event, sometimes you'll get 2 shows out of 1 race. Those will all be on there for you guys to view, and maybe you'll get on there.
Thank you, Mike. As we see the 450 amateur class blasted off the line. Uh-oh, left behind. Engine died at the start. That is Caleb Larson. He's from Fort Atkinson, Wisconsin, riding that Honda. In the lead, that is Sonny Johnson from Mount Calvary, Wisconsin. He's also on a Honda. Second place looks like number 64. That's Chris Fawcett. He's from Deerfield, Wisconsin, on the Yamaha, riding that Yamaha. But we see this young Sonny Johnson. He is dominating the heat race, the 450 amateur class. Now we're looking at the second 450 amateur race. Jumping out front, that's Tyler Rosine. He's from Eaton, Wisconsin. He's on a Honda. He is flying out there. Right behind a battle for second and third between Mike Moore and Brandon Parker, number 626 and number 63. We're going on to pick up the win. It is Tyler Rosine in the second 450 races. We see some of the young kids playing in the snow. A huge crowd comes out for the Otter Street Fishing motorcycle races. And now we're going to look at the 450 final as they line up 450 amateurs on the ice. Blasting off the line, it looks like that young Sonny Johnson on the Honda. Sonny Johnson from Calvary, Wisconsin. Right behind him, we got a battle shaping up between Rosine and Moore. Caleb Larson's right there, number 719. He was not sleeping on the line this time. He made a good, solid start as we see Sonny Johnson. Tyler Rosine, number 22. He's from Eaton, Wisconsin. Sonny Johnson is really flying out there. Second place, battle between Caleb Larson and Tyler Rosine. Right there, Mike Moore, Austin Madison, Chris Fawcett, Brandon Parker. Battle for third is shaping up between Mike Moore and Caleb Larson as we see Sonny Johnson going on to pick up the win. Rosine is second, making a move to third. That is Mike Moore snatching third place on the line. And now the quad class. There are 2 classes, pro and open. To make it interesting, there was only 2 pro riders, so they got put in with the open class to make a more interesting race. But the pro rider that's showing everybody the way around this track, that is Zach Schwartz, and he's from Oshkosh, Wisconsin. He's on the JF Racing, Magad Speed Shop, done right construction, and he has got horsepower, he has got traction, he has got skill. Here is a great pro quad rider. But in the open class, you got a battle going on, number 63, 61, 36. 45. Oh no, somebody's engine just let go. That Hoosman Racing, Hoosman Construction, Hoosman Homes, Honda having a problem out of the race. That is Taylor Hoosman from Oshkosh, Wisconsin. In the lead, it is at number 5, Zach Schmitt, but he is winning in the Open Pro class. In the Open Amateur class, we got a battle developing between Hayden Ritz. Hayden Ritz is on that Oregon Coastal Power Sports. He's battling with that Travis Stradler from Oshkosh on that Stradler Motorsports. Big Nell, one-stop loop shop. Back and forth, battle for the lead. Open Amateur Quad class. Behind this battling twosome, we got Kagan Ritz and we got Brandon Gagne. Brandon Gagne's on that Hoosman Homes Honda up front and leading. Zach Switz, he is flying. As you see the battle developing for second place. They're leading in the Open Pro. Oh no, a rider is down. It is Travis Stradler on that Stradler Motorsport Honda. He is down in the corner. Picking up the win in the pro class, it is Zach Switz. In the Open Amateur class with Stradler out, it is now Hayden Ritz picking up the win. Keegan Ritz is second. Brandon Gagne is third. Chesney Bolton is in fourth place. Now we're looking at the action. 450 Pro motorcycles blasting off the line. This is their final event. Off the line, looks like Christian Johnson's up front. Christian Johnson, he is from Mount Calvary, Wisconsin, and he is sponsored by Mom and Dad, Graham and Gramps, and Hespeck Engines. Second place is a great battle between Kyle Weiss, Brad Rosine. Fox Schwarzenbacher's running second, number 30. Up front, it is that Christian Johnson, Mount Calvary, Wisconsin, on the Honda. He is walking away from the field. Second place is Fox Schwarzenbacher. He's on that Millennium Tech Power Sport Company X-Brand goggles. He's also on a Honda. Third place is Brent Stump. And right behind him is Brad Rosine. Brad Rosine is sponsored by his dad, John Rosine, who may build some of the best ice race tires in the country. You see Christian Johnson going on to pick up the win. Schwarzenbacher was second. Brad Rosine was third. Brent Stump ended up in fourth place. Kyle Weiss was in fifth place. Now we're looking at the 80cc class. Blasting off the line, it looks like Ethan Rosine from Eden, Wisconsin. He puts down his sponsors, Dad and Jesse. Second place, it's like Nick Johnson, the younger brother from Mount Calvary, Wisconsin. Third place, looks like 06, that's Loyal Parch. He's from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He's sponsored by Fuel Cafe and Jack Canes. Going on to pick up the win, it is Ethan Rosine. Second place went to Nick Johnson, and third place went to Loyal Parch. Now the senior class, I'm on the Joe Stoppelworth 450 Yamaha. Joe Stoppelworth put this bike together, he invited me out, and that's Joe Stoppelworth jumping out front. He's on that 650 Yamaha twin cylinder 4-stroke. He is sponsored by Pro Motorsport. He also Joe's Custom Cables and Otis Moto. Also in front of me is Patrick Ryder. He's on that Retrieving Racer Honda. Jeff Wick is also on the Honda. I'm having a great time. Joe puts together a good bike. I wish I could ride it more often so I could get a little bit better on this bike. But I am running fourth place, senior class. This is for bike riders over 40 years old. The rider's got to be over 40 years old. The bikes can be any kind of motorcycle. But Joe Stoppelworth continues to lead on that 650 Yamaha, and I'm pretty happy running in fourth place. And as we look around, this event is sponsored by the Otter Street Fishing Club. The Otter Street Fishing Club has been dedicated to the betterment of Lake Winnebago since 1961. part of this event is they have a fishing contest, big raffles, giving out great prizes, and that is how they raise money. They raise money for wildlife feeding, fish stockage, working on the docks, working on the paths around Lake Winnebago. This is a major fundraiser for this not-for-profit organization. And now we're looking at the Canadian Screw Class Pro-Am final event. Blasting off the line, it looks like Christian Johnson blasted off the line, the rider from Mount Calvary. He's on that Honda. Right with him, though, it looks like Nick Schmitt again on the Yamaha. Parker Lane is not too far behind. That's number 57. I should point out the Canadian screws, what we're talking about is the head of the screws. What appears above the tire is almost twice as long as the regular standard AMA approved screws. The standard AMA approved screws can only be off the tire 3/16 of an inch. These Canadian screw tips are greater than a 1/4 inch off the surface of the tire. So they're giving greater traction. Battle up front. That outside line looks like Nick Schmitt on the Yamaha. Right there is Parker Lane on the Honda. You see this battle continue for the lead. Canadian screw. These screws just work a little bit better. Up front, it is that Parker Lane. Second place is now Nick Schmitt. Third place is Christian Johnson. Brad Thoma is right there with the Suzuki. Brock Schwarzenbacher on the Honda, racing that number 30 bike. Another rider that has got to adapt on these Canadian screws. You can see these front three riders basically laying the bike in. You have to sort of forget what you learned flat track racing if you want to learn how to race on these Canadian screws. You see Brock Schwarzenbacher, number 30, come running by. He is in 5th place. Brad Tomain's in 4th place. Christian Johnson's running in 3rd place. Nick Schmitt is running in 2nd place. And Parker Lane, number 57, is leading the event. Thousands of spectators show up every year for the races on Lake Winnebago. Thousands of people come out for the racing, for the fishing contest, for the huge beer tent. It's a big party day. The flag flies for the open amateur final. Jumping off the line, it is Sonny Johnson. He is looking great. He has got this track dialed. I imagine his brothers and Sonny go out and practice on some lake somewhere on their track. This is one way you learn how to be a great motorcycle racer. You take advantage of the situation and you go out and you ride. We're now looking at Caleb Larson trying to catch up with Tyler Rosine. Tyler Rosine also on the Honda. He's got those John Rosine tires. Caleb Larson from Fort Atkinson, he's also on the Honda. He tries that inside-outside line, making the move now. Battle for 4th. On the inside is 24. 24 is Max Schmitt. He's on the Team Smithy US Chrome Honda. He is battling with Chris Fawcett from Deerfield, Wisconsin on a Yamaha. But up front, Sonny Johnson is showing everybody the fast way around. This young rider, Mount Calvary, Wisconsin, sponsored by Mom and Dad, Gramps and Grandpa, Gramps and Grandma. As we see Tyler Rosine flashing by, another great motorcycle racer from a long line of motorcycle ice racing family. You see that Max Schmitt trying to make the move on the outside, getting by Caleb Larson. Caleb hanging on, going on to pick up the win. Going to be Sonny Johnson, Mount Calvary, 2nd place with the Taylor Rosine. Max Schmitt did make it up to 3rd place. 4th place, Caleb Larson, and 5th place went to Chris Floskit. And now we're looking at the vintage class, or the big twins class. All these bikes are twin-cylinder motorcycles. This is the heat race as we see that Triumph, the black Triumph of Dan LaShawn. Breaking away in the lead is another Triumph. That is Danny Verana. He's from Random Lake, Wisconsin. He's on that DVR Enterprise Triumph. I don't know if he's on a 750, 650, or 500 twin. He's a genuine go fast. Second place is my dear friend Joe Stoppelworth on his Yamaha. Joe Stoppelworth, the man that lays out the racetrack, the man that does the majority of the work behind this race. He's the man that has kept his motorcycle race going for the last 10 years for sure, working with the Otter Street Fishing Clubs. Third place looks like number 16. That's Todd Lefebvre. He's from Malone, Wisconsin. Danny LaShawn on the Triumph. He is struggling. You put a 21-inch front wheel on that bike, figuring it would work better, and maybe it is not working better. We're going on to pick up the win. It looks like it is Danny Veranda on the Triumph. And earlier, I had a chance to talk to my sponsor, Joe Stoppelworth.
Joe Stoppelworth up here at the Otter Street Fishing Club Fishery in beautiful Oshkosh, Wisconsin. We're here to put on a motorcycle ATV ice races, and we've been working on this track for the last 2 weeks. Weather's been great, and we love this place. We want to thank the Otter Street Fishing Club for everything they do for all the fishing and for walkers, the people that walk on the trails, and docks and piers, and the fish conservation. So let's have a great ice race. Go Team Chicago.
Thank you, Joe. Now we're into the big twins race. Open twins vintage. Jumping out front, it is Todd Lefebvre, and he's from Monroe, Wisconsin on that Otis Moto. Joe's Custom Cables. Right with him on the Triumph is Dan LaShawn on that 650, 750 twin Triumph, making a move on the outside. Also on a Triumph, pulling a little bit of a wheelie. That is Danny Veranda. Danny Veranda that also promotes the half-mile races at Elkhorn. This year the race is going to be in October. Watch the District 16 schedule. Up front, battle between the twin Yamaha and the twin Triumph. It is Lefebvre battling with Verana. Lefebvre battling for the lead. Yamaha versus Triumph. Meanwhile, behind this battling twosome, it is now Joe Stoppelworth trying to run down Dan LaShawn as they continue to battle for third place. Like I said, last year, this was the classic battle. Joe Stoppelworth, Dan LaShawn, and Terry Vesto. And Dan LaShawn was the hero last year. 1 year hero, next year not so great. It is Danny Veranda from Random Lake. He's the guy with the fast hand. Second place went to Todd Lefebvre. Joe Stoppelworth snatched third place from Dan LaShawn. Dan LaShawn settled for fourth place right here in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. The 250 amateurs line up, final event, blasting off the line. Looks like number 410, that's Austin Madison. 24 is on the outside, that's Max Smith. Sonny Johnson's right there. Three-way breakaway up front. It's that 410. It's Austin Madison. Austin Madison is sponsored by Rock River Power Sports Yamaha. Sonny Johnson is sponsored by Johnson Auto Body. Max Smith is sponsored by Team Smithy US Chrome. Fourth place looks like number 90. Number 90, that's Brandy Lane. He's on that Retriever Racing Honda. Chesney Bolton, she's also on a Honda. She's from Janesville. She's running a good race in fifth place. Patrick Lane, also on Retriever Honda, running in sixth place. Maxwell Meyer running seventh. Battle continues for second place. It is Sonny Johnson battling with Max Smith. Up front, not to be denied, Austin Madison seems to have the hot hand at this point. Sonny Johnson on the Honda trying to run down that Yamaha up front. Battle for 4th and 5th and 6th between Brandy Lane, Chesney Bolton, Patrick Ryder. Maxwell Mayer is running 7th. Ryan Kessler is running in 8th place. Sonny Johnson's trying to find a way by that Yamaha up front. What a great race. 250 amateurs putting on this great race. 1 lap to go. Sonny Johnson trying to find a way by. Still up front, it is Austin Madison. Austin Madison, Sonny Johnson. Sonny Man's race. Sonny Johnson looking for a way by. Holding that inside line, keeping it tight, going on to pick up the win. It is Austin Madison, 2nd place. Sonny Johnson, Max Schmitt was 3rd. Brandy Lane 4th. Chesney Bolton was in 5th place. And now we're looking at the Open Pro class. Jumping out front, that is Christian Johnson. Christian Johnson on the Honda. Got the lead off the line, battling behind them. It looks like Brock Schwarzenbacher battling with Kyle Weiss. Kyle Weiss, he is from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Jake Drummond's right there. Brad Rosine. Brad Rosine's on the 22 X bike. Jake Drummond's on the 22 bike. He's on a Yamaha. As we see Sonny Johnson continue to lead. Looks like number 30, that is Brock Schwarzenbacher running in 2nd place. Brock Schwarzenbacher is sponsored by Millennium Tech, Power Sport Company, X-Brand Goggles, and Rick's Beltel Industry. Christian Johnson is sponsored by Mom, Dad, Grandma, Grandpa, Hendo Beck Engines, Johnson Auto Body, REI Industries. Great battle for 3rd place between Kyle Weiss and I believe that's Brad Rosine from the Rosine family. They built some of the best tires, but Brad Weiss is looking pretty good. Rider out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Number 22 is on the Yamaha, Jake Drummond. Picking up the win in this heat race, it is Christian Johnson. And earlier, I had a chance to talk to Christian Johnson and Brock Schwarzenbacher.
Hi, I'm Christian Johnson. We're here today at Otter Street Fishery Fishing Club running the annual Otter Street race they have every year. The turnout's pretty good. Joe Stopper at the Beaver Side Club usually do a good job of putting it on. I'll be running the pro class today. I'll be number 65L. And you can watch quads, bikes, and they're having a new one this year, Canadian class, so that should be interesting.
Number 30 in the pro expert class, and a few of the, I think we're on a Canadian class here today at Oshkosh. Part of the Otter Street Fishery here in Oshkosh. It's always a lot of fun. There's always a big crowd, and yeah, just pumped, ready for the action to start. You know, it's been a slow winter, but hopefully we can get some racing in at the end of it.
Thank you, gentlemen. Now in the final event, this is Open Pro class. Jumping out front there, Christian Johnson on the Honda. Battling behind him, it is a battle between Brock Schwarzenbacher and Kyle Weiss. Kyle Weiss is running number 29. Schwarzenbacher's number 30. Right there, Brad Rosine, Jake Drummond, both of them running number 22. One is on a Yamaha, one is on a Honda. Battle continues for 2nd place. Number 30, that's Brock Schwarzenbacher. On the outside is 29, that's Kyle Weiss. Kyle Weiss is sponsored by Del Psycho, Parts Specialist, Bay Exhaust, Iggy Rickies, and Bob the Goggle Guy. What a race. What great competition. Open Pro class. As we see 22 on the inside, I believe that is Brad Rosine. 22 on the outside is Jake Drummond. Nobody is allowing anybody to win 2nd place, but running away with this, no doubt about it, it is Christian Johnson. Christian Johnson must have put in the horsepower homework. He must have been riding on the track. They probably got a track by their house, and they get to practice because both Sonny and his brother Christian have dominated this event. The WinterFest, first Saturday in February, Oshkosh, Wisconsin, Otter Street Fishing Club and Beaver Motorcycle Club, as we see Christian Johnson on that mom and dad, grandma, grandpa, Johnson Auto Body Honda. He is dominating. In second place went to Black Schwarzenbacher. For more information on the Beaver Motorcycle Club on Facebook, it's Beaver Cycle Club. Otter Street Fishing Club website is www.theosfc.net, or on Facebook it's Otter Street Fishing Club. I always had a great time racing with the Beaver Motorcycle Club, and a few times I even won the final. To contact me, and I love to hear from my audience, it's teamdan45@gmail.com. Remember, you can always search on YouTube with Dan Schmitt Motorcycle Racing for great motorcycle racing action. Dan Schmitt Politics, to learn what makes America great. And I highly encourage you to visit the World of Motorcycle Museum. They're in Winamac, Indiana, 4 miles south of North Judson on Indiana Highway 39. But give them a call first at 574-896-3172. It's a great trip and a great collection of motorcycles. And to pick up your copy of the Team Chicago History Package, go to Rich's Yamaha in Lockport, Illinois, but give them a call first at 815-838-8130. Their website is richesyamaha.com. Pick up your copy of the Team Chicago History Package. And if you want to know everything there is to know about motorcycles, there's nothing like going to a swap meet. Here's a few dates: Princeton, Illinois, Springfield, Ohio, Woodstock, Illinois, Shepherdsville, Kentucky. Go to walneckswap.com, walneckswap.com for more info on great swap meets.